This DDI CADcast is part of a What's New miniseries covering fundamentals. In SOLIDWORKS 2013, we see some new features which enable SOLIDWORKS to start quicker. SOLIDWORKS Fast Start is an application which runs upon starting Windows. SOLIDWORKS Fast Start improves SOLIDWORKS load times by preloading some of the components during Windows boot up. Another feature which has been added to SOLIDWORKS 2013 is the SOLIDWORKS Launcher tool. The new SOLIDWORKS Launcher identifies when a model has been created in a previous year's version and offers to open the model in any previous versions of SOLIDWORKS on this machine. With the SOLIDWORKS Launcher, you do have the ability to determine which version of SOLIDWORKS is always utilized in order to open the model. You can do that simply by checking the box on the bottom which states, "Do not show this again, remember my version selected." In this case, I'm going to select that for SOLIDWORKS 2013. Also, notice the new splash screen which tells you which components are currently loading. You also have the ability to cancel the load of SOLIDWORKS by clicking on the cancel button. For those that encounter a problem with the initial launcher and would like to recover the launcher after selecting the icon box, this can be done by accessing the Tools, Options, navigating to the File Explorer, and selecting the Restore File Associations. Restoring file associations will ensure that the SOLIDWORKS launcher is open the next time a SOLIDWORKS model is selected. While we're in the options, it also is important to notice that in SOLIDWORKS 2013, we now have the search options availability. You can utilize this tool as a typical search by typing in the option you're interested in. Notice that as you type, it populates in order to allow you to select anything relevant to your search. Using the search options, I'm now going to search for one of the latest additions to the options menu, which is a save notification. Notice that within the save notification area, we now have a new option for automatically dismiss after a variable number of seconds. This can shorten or extend the time period for which the save reminder is displayed in the corner of your application. So another of the newest features within SOLIDWORKS 2013 is the ability to configure sounds to certain actions within SOLIDWORKS. These can be accessed by accessing these SOLIDWORKS options, using the search feature, and searching for sounds. You'll see that you have the ability to configure sounds now. Utilizing the configure sounds will open the Windows Sound Manager, and scrolling towards the bottom of the Windows Sound Manager will yield an option for SOLIDWORKS. You'll see within SOLIDWORKS you have many features that you can link to custom sounds. In SOLIDWORKS 2013, we've also seen a unique change to the way that you can orient your views. This new change is called the View Selector. The View Selector can be accessed by pressing the spacebar to access the orientation window and selecting the option for the View Selector. Toggling this will toggle the cube that appears when you open the view selections. Clicking on any face of the outline cube will orient the model so you're normal to the selected face. Outside of using the orientation menu, you can also access the View Selector by pressing and holding the Control button and depressing the spacebar. This will show only the view cube without showing the orientation dialog. Again, selecting any face on the cube will orient the view normal too. Another of the newest features within SOLIDWORKS 2013 is the ability to rotate about scene floor. Rotate about scene floor can be accessed by right-clicking anywhere in the model area and selecting the option for Rotate about scene floor. Rotating about scene floor limits the motion in what is normally referred to as the y-axis. Notice that rotation with Rotate about scene floor on is very clean and has very little jitter from the movement of the mouse. The next feature we're going to discuss in SOLIDWORKS 2013 is the ability to set a standard view. Setting standard views was previously only available within the orientation dialog, however now can be accomplished by clicking anywhere in the model area and locating the option for Set Current View As. Selecting the current view as a selected orientation will change all views to represent the change. Notice now that as I change between multiple views, the orientation has taken place across all orientations. And the final view feature available in SOLIDWORKS 2013 is the ability to save custom views. Saving custom views was always available for certain models. However, now the ability to save custom views is available across all your models. So now, to use this tool, you create your view as you did in previous version, And then once created, saving the view will save it to the machine so that it can be accessed between all models. Now, as I access the second model, I can open the View Orientation dialog, and I have the ability to load the same views. And now, the next features we have available in SOLIDWORKS 2013 are going to be demonstrated in a new part. With SOLIDWORKS 2013, we've been given some additional utility for global variable creation. We can now create global variables during feature creation. This is done by simply inserting the equal sign and naming the global variable. When naming the global variable, you see that you have the ability to create global variable. Clicking that icon will give you the world icon, denoting that the global variable has been created. There are many ways to set this global variable. You can either specify the size of the global variable, or you can utilize the control button, and using the mouse wheel will increment the variable by very large values. In reverse, holding the Alt button and the middle scroll wheel will increment by very small values. Incrementing with the middle mouse alone does the normal values expected. Another great feature that's been added to SOLIDWORKS 2013 is the ability to utilize multiple units within the equation manager. Notice here that I now have the ability to denote multiple units within my expression, and they'll all evaluate down to the document properties. So in this scenario, I'll have millimeters plus inches plus feet minus 1 meter. I'll get the evaluated value based on the unit properties of the document. And now for the changes to the measurement tool. In SOLIDWORKS 2013, the measurement tool has seen an important update in what's called the point-to-point. Point-to-point is a measurement mode which allows you to measure from point clicked to point clicked. Notice that no predefined points were selected and that they are merely measuring between two defined points that I clicked. Disabling the point-to-point mode gives you the previously used functionality of the measure tool. This point-to-point mode is not specific to edges, faces, or other locations for measurement. Simply clicking anywhere on the model will measure between the two selected points. Further revisions to the measurement tool has changed the icon for creating the sensor. It is no longer the floppy disk icon. You now see the updated graph icon. Additionally, you have the ability to measure between multiple arcs. Arc measurements can be customized to measure from center to center, min to max, max to min, or any combination thereabove. The last and perhaps most important change to the measure tool is the measurement history. Accessing the measurement history will give you a history of all items measured within a given SOLIDWORKS session. This means, measuring in one model, you can take that value, open a new part, and access the measurements. Closing SOLIDWORKS will clear this measurement history. During the process of opening, you now have the quick filter icons available on the bottom right hand corner of the open dialog box. There's also a feature for Show Top Level Assembly. Selecting the icon for Show Top Level Assembly will show the uppermost assembly in a given folder. And one last change to SOLIDWORKS 2013 is the method in which SOLIDWORKS 2013 opens IGES files. In previous versions of SOLIDWORKS, opening an IGES file generated multiple files to associate each body or surface with. You can see that in my 2012 version, I have two parts that were generated from opening this IGES file. However, in the 2013 version, when I opened my IGES file, no parts files were generated, only this test file, or this report file. And finally, for those interested in seeing everything that SOLIDWORKS 2013 has to offer as far as interoperability, this information can be gathered by accessing this Help, What's New, and then PDF. This opens the PDF where you can then navigate to SOLIDWORKS Fundamentals and click on Previous Release Interoperability. Previous Release Interoperability will give you all the information necessary to understanding what exactly interoperability is. Thank you for reviewing this DDI CADcast. please visit us at www.ddicad.com.